Hi guys, this is Michael from the Board Games Chronicle. Welcome to another material where I will be looking at the new game which just landed at my doorsteps. Today it will be A Most Fearful Sacrifice, second edition from the Flying Pig Games by Herman Luttmann. Okay, I will be quite honest, being based in Europe, I'm not so much into the, let's say, history of US, especially when it comes to the US Civil War. Still, I would like to fill those gaps, both in my, let's say, history knowledge, but also as far as the war games are concerned. Recently, I obtained Mark Simonich, the US Civil War, and this is the second game in my collection which actually touches this topic. This time, we're focusing on one pivotal moment of this very famous conflict, probably the most famous of engagements, so the Gettysburg Battle, the 3-day battle. What actually pushed me in getting this game are the wonderful reviews which I was able to read on the media, a beautiful look of the game. I know Flying Pig Games really takes pride from how the games look like, and I'm really fan of those. And also, let's be honest, having such a great and fantastic author, and I'd say a true, you can say, hero of our hobby, Herman Luttmann, it was providing to be a nice and interesting engagement. What also attracted me to this game is, this, we'll see components in a moment, it's kind of a mini monster. It's like half thousand of counters. Okay, not so many as in Pacific War or Julius Caesar, I granted, but still, the battle system which is designed here really allows for a pretty straightforward game. I will be showing this in my next materials after this first look at unboxing. All in all, the box is big. It's much larger than the usual, which you can see. The usual format is, I believe, like A4, yeah, card. So this is bigger. This is very heavy because of the mounted map. It has also, it's not particularly deep. And at the back, we have a very nice information, what awaits us inside, but also what kind of improvements we have in this updated second edition. So let's have a look. Yeah. The game will have, of course, the revised rulebook, scenario book. There will be 15 scenarios. This is something which I really like about it because you can have very small engagements to much larger. Beautiful maps. They are so beautiful. You can see here, and we'll see live in a moment. And a lot of beautiful pre-rounded counters, very important. Cards which will be driving the game, of course, player aids, setup guides, and so on. So let's have a look inside. Okay, not so easy to turn it. Okay, slowly but steadily. Here it is. Let me just make sure that you can see all the stuff. Yeah, here. So what do we get inside? First of all, set of materials. Covered, yes. This is the rule book, and this will be the scenario book. Really like when those two things go separately. It really helps me to organize my games. Rule book, I'm always checking this first. It's not overly long, 30 pages, although as you can see the font is not particularly large, so there are some rules to digest, of course. We talk about the counters, type of counters, and what the numbers are meaning. There's information also about the cards, how to use them, how to utilize them. In this game, we'll have a mechanic which you might saw in some of other games, for example, Enemy, Action, Kharkov, or Ardennes, where you activate particular formation with cards. Yeah, so this is the instruction. A lot of text, some examples, some pictures. but definitely some reading will be needed. Remember, not for each and every scenario you would need all the rules. It's also important here. But in order to play, for example, larger scenarios like 3 days battle or even first, second, or third day, you would definitely need to digest a lot of them. But we are used to long rule books or approximately long rule books and should not be a problem. Okay, here's comprehensive example of play. So the instruction is, the rulebook is actually 24 pages. I think we can cope with this. Okay. Then we have the scenario book. As I told you, we have a lot of scenarios, like 15. Starting with a very small one. This scenario one, this is a scenario which uses a couple of units, yes? 2 units on the Union side and 3 units on Confederate side. And only this part of half of the map. So pretty small, just to learn you some basic mechanics. The second scenario, which is small, a small scenario, always have bolded here, introductory, small. We have like 1, 3, 6, 10, 12 units versus 3 units, but of course with some reinforcements, slightly bigger map, and so on. We go through all the scenarios. They grow in size, also in the area which you need to play them. Here's half of a map, and we'll show a map in a moment. It will be really nice and huge. Then we are getting more and more scenarios. Whole day scenarios. You see the description is much longer, and the setup is also much more detailed. Especially the reinforcements. The Battle of Gettysburg, as you probably know, was not a battle to which two armies came and just started to fight. Reinforcements were being brought regularly. Okay, all of this is my fault. Interesting name for the scenario. It's also one of the smaller ones, although it's 11, it's still a small one, because believe me, okay. Yeah, this is just small. Is it a Pickett's charge? I would need to check it, maybe later on. Okay, there will be also the hypothetical scenario. I think the 14th or 15th is a hypothetical, slightly different and entering of the forces. Yeah, this is 14, and yeah, this is really cool stuff. Okay. There will be time to take just into this, definitely. Okay, arms clarifications, reminders, and variants. So very important piece of information which you need to familiarize yourself. Probably before the first game, but after the first game even more. Then what do we have here? Scenario setup guide. That really helps. That really helps when you set up the scenarios. Yeah. Turn track and army composition. Now, what do we have here? Confederate command display. Okay. Pity something wrong here. And he will have a Union command display. Last but not least, you have one more Union command display. Yes. So we'll need some space to play this game. Another thing is player 8 with a sequence of play and compatible results. Okay, here you have it. Nice. And then the last but not least, combat event table. We have events during the combat, and this will be the charts. So there is some stuff to digest. I do not deny it. Yeah. Here we are the counters. As I told you, they are beautiful. They are pre-rounded. Of course, two-sided. Very easy to get out. Thick. Yeah, and here we have division corps the divisions, brigades, and so on. So we have a union and we have a confederate. I believe these are the confederates, and this will be a union, but I will need to double check. At least you can see there's many more blue ones, so I assume these are the union. Here are some administrative tokens. Shaken. All units shaken. Wow. Okay. It's good because it shows that one unit is shaken and the other that the whole stack is shaken. So these are the four, let's say, sheets of units, and one of, let's say, administrative micros. They are smaller, definitely smaller in size. Hex VP and some other stuff which we will need to read about and understand. We have dice, 6 of them, 3 colors, 2 black, 2 white, 2 red. Nice rounded one. Oh, would be pleasure to roll them. Then we have decks of cards. Let me open them. As I told you, recently it's not so easy to open those, but here, this time it was not so difficult. Okay, let me check what kind of card production we have here. Okay, my preferred ones. So they are not very glossy, you can see, but they are a little matte with, you can see, I don't know in English and in Polish how you call this finishing, but I really like it. So here are the cards to drive the movement game and so on. Activation of corps, armies, divisions, so on and so forth. Pretty many of them. And let me open the second part. Just trying to check. Okay, it's really nicely opening. No problem with that. They were slightly dented. Okay, let me make them right. More. Army of the Potomac leadership. Would need to read the details of this redeployment. Play immediately. So some events. Longstreet First Corp Superior. Would need to check it. The more I look at this game, the more I would like to play Fog of War for the Friction of War. But this, of course, will require some decent storage solution to keep it nicely. And now, guys, now we need to look at the map. In order to show you the map nicely, I believe I will put some of the stuff aside, because simply the map is huge. It is indeed huge, but it is enormously beautiful. So let me try to get it out of here. There are 2 parts of the map. The map is big, mounted, and for some of the scenarios you need only half of the map. So for majority of scenarios you most probably need only part of the map, which is good. Let us try to set it up. Oh, this is the part of the map with Gettysburg itself. Okay. I always pride myself on having decently large table. I even managed to fit here Mr. President fully without any, restrictions. But this might be showing something which will be too much. Okay, now if I'm looking at my camera and I see that I cannot fit the whole map in my camera, and believe me, there is the second part also to this. So what we can see here, these are the borders of the map, and here is the continuation of the second map. But as I said, you don't need everything immediately. Here's Gettysburg. You have pretty nicely put the hexagonal map. You have all of these terrain features. Honestly, this is the first time I see such a beautiful, innovative, colorful, and nice map. Yeah, really. Roads, ravines, creeks, rivers, some hamlets, a lot of stuff which is pretty historical, where the actual commanders were stationed. This is really making a huge impression on me, and I'm not surprised that actually the most fearful sacrifice won a couple of Charles Roberts Awards for 2002 games, like the best war game and a couple other awards. It's simply astonishingly beautiful. Okay, guys, I believe that will be everything for today. So we were looking at the most fearful sacrifice, second edition, from Flying Pig Games by Herman Luttmann. The 3 days of the Gettysburg battle. Can't wait to bring this title to the table. It seems to have a pretty decent way of introducing you to the rules by utilizing only a couple of units, and you can play it 2-player, of course, but this is such a big game that playing 4-player in a team student duo should also not be a problem. That's all for today. I hope you like this unboxing first look, some explanation about the game. If so, please don't hesitate to give thumbs up. If you'd like to comment, share your opinion, maybe your experiences with the game, kindly please use the section below. Also, I would appreciate if you would subscribe to the channel. Every subscription counts for such a small content creator like the Boardgames Chronicle. Thank you very much for staying and being with me, and have a good day. See you in another material.